Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and this is episode 6, Lantern Year 5 of Kingdom Death Monster, the Innistrad campaign. It's been going interestingly so far. We faced the Butcher last fight, and Kaya's brave sacrifice, that person we didn't really know, ran away and let us survive the fight. Not win the fight, but survive the fight. And we lost some stuff. We lost our leather armor that we had. We lost our monster grease. So we're going to go back to hunting white lions, something we know we can handle, get some resources, and see where we can go from there. So taking a look at the board, we have almost our original hunting party back. We've got Gideon in green. We've got Chandra in yellow, who I'll point out has a new model. I'm actually using the Intimacy female model. So this is the character from the Intimacy page when we roll on Intimacy. We have Elspeth in red still, and weirdly, for anybody who's from the magic world, we have Chandra in blue. For anybody here who's not familiar with magic, Chandra is a red mage. That's why we had her experiment with lanterns and become the Red Fist. Yes, she's in blue today. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to hunt this white lion, hopefully rip it apart, hopefully get some hides, rebuild our leather armor. You might notice Jace is not out. That's because even though I said he was going to go out, I forgot that he has binge eating. He needs to have a consumable in his gear grid. And we only had one consumable in our entire settlement. That was the monster grease, and it went off into the darkness with Kaya. So no Jace this week. But yeah, we're going to start going on this white lion. So let's get started with, we'll say, let's have Chandra be the first one. For the first White Lion event, we get ourselves Lion Sculpture. A crudely arranged effigy stands before the survivors, decorated with small metal trinkets, human fingers, and stuffed with dried tall grass. The quarry's sculpture confounds the survivors. The survivors gaze at the arrangement, attempting to glean the substance of the White Lion's bizarre inhuman intelligence. Each survivor gains +1 understanding and +1 insanity. So let's hop on over into other. Chandra gets an understanding up to 2. Elspeth gets an understanding up to 3, so she's going to trigger insight. So we'll have to do that. Gideon is going to get understanding up to 3. He's also going to get insight. And Liliana is going to get understanding up to 3, also getting insight. Just before we go to those, let's give the insanity. So Chandra has 1 insanity. Elspeth has 11 insanity. Gideon has 3 insanity, becomes insane. Liliana has 4 insanity, continues to be insane. We'll also remember to roll on this hunt event, but let's roll for Elspeth and Gideon and Liliana on the insight table. So I believe so far we've only had Jace roll on the insight table. Intimacy, insight. So we are in the hunt phase. So we're going to be dealing with the middle column here. In a single moment, the curtain of the world pulls back. Select the epiphany corresponding to the current game phase. A survivor can only gain these benefits once a lifetime. So all 3 of these folks are going to get the explore ability. So let's give them the explore ability. Elspeth. Explore for Gideon, and explore for Liliana. So this is just like how Jace has Tinker. He gets an additional endeavor when he comes back. These 3 folks, when they roll on an investigate table during the hunt phase, they're going to add +2 to their result. So they're going to explore better during the hunt phase. Now, in addition to that, each of these survivors is going to get a roll on the insight table. 1d10. Let's give this a roll. We get ourselves a 4 for who's in order here. Red, blue. So blue, that is, nope, red. Red is first. Elspeth. Elspeth gets a 4. She gains +3 survival and +3 insanity. So she's going to hop on up to 14 insanity. She is at max survival, so that doesn't do us any good. Up next is Gideon in green. Gideon in green gets a 9. A 9 is +1 permanent accuracy for Gideon. That's pretty handy. That's his first accuracy point. And then finally, Liliana. Liliana gets a 9. Liliana also gets +1 accuracy. That is her first accuracy. Well, that was a good beginning. Now remember, we still have to just roll a random hunt event for this space. So let's get that going. And let's get to the hunt event pages. Not severe injuries, those are for later. All right. 73 is going to be our first hunt. 73 is Golden Ember. The way forward is blocked by dense gold-flecked smoke. If the survivors have a final lantern, we don't. It guides them through the smoke without any trouble and this event. The survivors may push ahead and brave the smoke. If they do, each survivor gains +1 courage, and the event revealer rolls 1d10. If they don't brave the smoke, they take the long way around, roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. So we've had this before, and it requires a bunch of steps, 3 separate rolls. And I think we'll just do a different roll. I don't think we're quite ready for Golden Ember. So, new hunt event. We're gonna take the long way around. 96 is where we're gonna go. I feel like we've rolled that more than a couple of times. Cloaked Stranger. A cloaked form steps out from a patch of darkness ahead of the survivors. Its ill-fitting garment shifts atop its form, and its trudging leaves dark black puddles in the mouths of the rain-slicked stone on the ground. The event revealer, Chandra, approaches the stranger and rolls. She rolls an 8. The stranger raises its arms and moves to meet your approach. From beneath the folds of its cloak, you can just make out a hint of violet, scaly hide. A claw extends from a sleeve and gently strokes your cheek, leaving a layer of viscous liquid behind. Wiping off the sludge, you find the bizarre experience strangely touching. You gain +1 survival and +1 understanding. Chandra is maxed out on survival, but that is going to be her 3rd understanding, which means she is going to get insight. We already know that means that she is going to get the explore ability, so that now on investigate tables we add +2, but we're going to have to do her insight roll. So let's give her a roll. She gets a 4. She gets +3 survival and +3 insanity, putting her up to 4 insanity. As we said, she's already at max survival. So, whole lot of steps for that first hunt event, but let's go on to the second. I guess we don't need to take that off. The second one, we're going to move Liliana up. We've got Lion in Heat. The darkness is filled with unearthly screeching and yowling. Huddled together, the survivors close their eyes but cannot sleep. All survivors suffer 1 brain event damage. So, everybody's going to take 1 brain damage. So that's going to put Chandra down to 3 insanity, Elspeth down to 13, Gideon down to 2, and Liliana down to 3. Totally fine. Totally fine. Let's have Elspeth go up into the empty spot. So we're going to roll for that. We get ourselves Hunt Event 25. Hunt Event 25 is Titans in the Dark. An ear-splitting bellow marks the passage of a truly titanic beast. All non-deaf survivors, that's everybody, suffer monster-level brain event damage. So Chandra down to 2 insanity. Good thing Chandra got that insanity. Elspeth down to 12. Liliana down to 2. Gideon down to 1. Continuing, the survivors cower on the ground, lying as flat as possible and hoping they are simply too small to be worth eating. Each survivor rolls 1d10. The lowest scoring survivor becomes a straggler. If any survivor has noisy gear, add -2 to their roll, and then the straggler is going to do a solo roll. I don't believe anybody has anything noisy. We're all wearing rawhide and such. So we'll do the order that they're in right now: green, blue, yellow, red. So Gideon is on 10. Blue is on 10. Yellow is on 9. Red is on 5. So red Elspeth is the straggler. She's going to roll on the straggler table. So she doesn't get +2 for explore because this is not an investigate table. There's a lot of tables and a lot of rolls that are called investigate. This one's called straggler. So she's going to roll on the straggle table, and she gets a 10. 10 plus. You will never stop running from what you saw. You can gain +1 permanent movement. So Elspeth now has 6 movement. She's good at running. So that just leaves Gideon. Gideon is going to step into the white lion space, and we are going to face the white lion. So I'll get that set up. I'll get the terrain for today, and we'll probably rip this white lion limb from limb, I hope. Be right back. Okay, we are back for the fight. We've got some terrain to go over. We have Dead Monster again, which is always a great pull. The Dead Monster starts adjacent to the monster. It lets us set up wherever we feel like, and we get to go first. Huge, huge, huge bonus for Dead Monster. We can also investigate the Dead Monster to get ourselves some random basic resources, or maybe nothing, as is the Kingdom Death Monster way. We have an ore vein up here. Ore veins we can go and mine to try to get some iron out of them. We get a bonus if we have a pickaxe, but we don't have a pickaxe. And of course we have tall grass, as we always do with the White Lion. I've set it up behind the White Lion so that we are already in backstabbing range, especially good for Liliana. And I set up some for our bow person and our weak Chandra. Just as a recap, Red has a bow with a clawhead arrow. She's got some bandages, skull helm, cloth, and a founding stone. Chandra, in blue, is taking the place of our former Kaya, who ran away with all of our stuff that we had on her gear grid. So she is pretty basic. Yellow, back up here, is Liliana. She's got a sword. She's got a full rawhide set, as well as a founding stone. Gideon, same thing, just no sword, because he's their fist and tooth person. So we are going to get going. Since it is our turn first, I think we want to start out with Elspeth here, taking a shot with the clawhead arrow. So remember, the clawhead arrow is a special ammunition that we get to use with the bow. We only get to use it once per showdown, but if we hit, not even wound, but just hit it, we get to give that White Lion -1 evasion, making it even easier to hit. So we are going to get to roll 1 die because it's a speed of 1. We're going to hit on a 6. Elspeth has +1 accuracy, so we're going to hit on a 5. Sounds about right. We get a 3, so we fail to hit with the clawhead arrow. There's our single use. Good job. Now, as a note, the clawhead arrow is not cumbersome, so we can still move Elspeth. I don't know that we will, though. We don't really need to. I don't think that White Lion's going to go very far, and she's still in range. So I think that'll just be Elspeth's turn. I think. Yeah, let's have that be her turn. Chandra in blue, she's already beside the monster. We may as well take this opportunity while we're not being attacked or anything to see what's in that monster corpse. We get a 6, which on the terrain card tells us we find a basic resource. Archive this terrain. So Dead Monster is gone. We have scrounged through it along with that White Lion, and we get a basic resource. So let's grab the basic resource deck. And we'll shuffle that up and get going. So I'm super excited to be playing this again. It's been almost 2 weeks since I last played. I do 2 episodes in one-ish sittings, maybe over a couple of days, but with everything still left set up. So it's been a couple of weeks, and I'm super excited to get back. For some reason, I'm briefly forgetting a couple of rules, I feel like. I wish I had a great way of playing a campaign alongside this on my own, but keeping all of the gear separate is kind of what stops me from doing it. So maybe I'll play on TTS. We'll see. Oh yeah, Elspeth also has the 6. One other thing I forgot to mention while I'm shuffling these up, Chandra has the red fist, which means that every character has a +1 strength token. So everybody's going to be wounding a lot easier too, which is fantastic. And just as a reminder, this White Lion has a toughness of 8. All right, we find in that pile of corpse and organs some love juice. We'll set that love juice aside for later. I guess I don't think we've actually had love juice yet in this campaign. So for anybody who doesn't know, love juice is an organ. It's also a consumable. But during the settlement phase, you just consume this and you get to do intimacy. So instead of having to like roll on augury and hope that you hit it, you just get to do intimacy. the power of love juice. And we'll leave Chandra in the tall grass. She's vulnerable-ish at the moment. All right, let's have our backstabby McGee, Liliana, take her attack. So Liliana is going to attack with her Bone Blade, which is a speed of 2. She is attacking from behind, so she's going to hit on a 6, on a 5, on a 4, because she has 1 accuracy. We get a 7 and a 1, so that is just 1 hit. I turned that 7 over. So we get 1 hit on the beast's heel. Hey, that actually makes sense if she's attacking from behind. You clip the tensed muscle of the heel. So this is where it's going to start to be very easy to hit this white lion. It has 8 toughness. Bone Blade has a damage of 2, so that is us hitting on a 6, on a 5, on a 4, on a 3, because of Liliana's, on a 4, because of Liliana's 2 strength. And then because she's attacking from the blind spot, she gets +4 strength. We are wounding this lion as long as we don't roll a 1. We roll an 8. We successfully wound the white lion. Not critically, but we wound it. So there's Liliana's turn. She's going to just hang out in that blind spot. Finally, Gideon is going to attack with Fist and Tooth. Fist and Tooth is going to be... this is something I'm forgetting. Fist and Tooth is an accuracy of 8. He is hitting from behind, so that's 7. He has an accuracy, so that's a 6. So he is going to hit on 6s. We get a 2 and a 2. Feels like low rolls today. Feels like real low rolls today. Let's hope that doesn't keep going. So that is all of our turns. I don't have the monster controller out. I should grab that. Where is that? It's up here. All right. So red was the monster controller. Blue is now the monster controller. So White Lion going to take its first turn of this fight, and it's going to hit us with the old Smart Cat. Smart Cat is an advanced AI card. Reveal the top 10 AI cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all of them. Put the first 2 mood cards revealed into play, then shuffle the deck. Ground fighting. That's why we have ranged. Okay, there's the whole deck. There's only 1 mood. If no mood cards are put into play as a result of Smart Cat, draw an AI card. No, there was 1. And then archive Smart Cat. Okay, that wasn't that bad. That was not that bad. So we archive Smart Cat. It gets thrown away. Not even in the wound stack. It is just taken out. And ground fighting is in play. We kind of just did 2 wounds, if you think about it, because the mood is now not in the deck. Smart Cat is not in the deck. But if you remember ground fighting, the White Lion has now flopped onto its side. It's not going to draw any more AI cards. However, if a survivor in the zone of death, which is any adjacent or corner around it, the White Lion is first going to attack with +2 speed and +1 damage, which is brutal. When we wound the White Lion, we discard ground fighting. It goes back into the discard pile to be drawn again. So that's going to be in play for a while, which means, of course, Gideon and Liliana are not going to attack because they are in the zone of death. All we're going to be doing is having Elspeth attack until we hit. That does mean we have an opportunity to go and grab that iron, however. So let's have Chandra do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll pass the turn, I guess, to put the monster controller on Gideon. Her next turn, she'll go to the iron, and she'll dig in the iron with a 9. A 9 on the iron, the ore, gives us something shiny. Gain 1 iron strange resource and archive this terrain. So we need to grab the iron strange resource. Someday we'll maybe even make our own iron. Who knows? All right, so we got some iron. I've never gotten far enough in a game to really know what iron is for, but I assume it's for fancy, higher level weapons. So that's Chandra's turn. We'll pass everybody else's turn, and honestly, we'll just do what we always do with ground fighting. We'll get everybody where we want them to be. we'll say it is now a brand new turn, Gideon's turn, because the White Lion was never drawing AI cards. We had infinite time to do what we want. And now Elspeth is going to take some shots with this bow. So she's got Catgut Bow. It's a speed of 2 and an accuracy of 7. Now Elspeth does have +1 accuracy, so that's an accuracy of 6. She's going to be hitting on 6s. She gets a 10 and a 5, so that is 1 hit on the White Lion. We hit the beast's femur. The blow lands on the monster's leg. We are going to hit on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We are going to hit on a 3 or higher. And we crit! We crit. So, first off, we discard ground fighting. Second off, we do the wound. Third off, what's the critical here? You bruise the White Lion's femur, crippling its graceful movement. The White Lion gains -1 movement token, gain a random White Lion resource. That is why we're here. We are here to get ourselves some White Lion bits. So there's a -1 movement token. That monster is now only going to be moving 5 spots at a turn. And we get to already dig into this White Lion resource stack. We're looking for hides. We are looking for bones and stuff, because we do want to get a spear. Chandra will probably become our spear person, maybe. Although the trick with Chandra, we haven't had to deal with this yet. The reason we didn't take Chandra out for a long time is she has -1 speed. She's always going to roll 1 die less than she should. That means that with her Founding Stone, she's rolling 1 die to hit. So we kind of want to get Chandra a naturally speedy weapon, where like maybe you'd roll 3 dice or something, because then she would roll a more normal amount of dice with that -1 speed. So we'll see what we can do there. We'll see what we can do there. We find a great cat bone. Not a hide, but not bad. So that was Elspeth's critical wound. Let's mark that down. I always forget to do this, and that is bad to forget. Liliana got a wound, so she has earned her proficiency point if she survives. Chandra, nope, Elspeth. Elspeth got a wound with the bow, so she will earn her proficiency point. Gideon whiffed, so good job, Gideon, I guess. Honestly, Chandra doesn't even need to wound or anything here, right? Because she's not working on weapon proficiency. She just needs to not die and not get hurt and not be in the way and provide everybody else with strength. Good roll for Chandra, I guess. We are going to have Liliana do her attack with the Bone Blade from behind, speed of 2, accuracy of 6, 5, 4. Man, I love that everybody has like +1 accuracy now. So yeah, she's going to hit on 4s. 9 and a 9. 2 hits. We hit the beast's temple, and we hit the fuzzy groin. All right, so we are almost guaranteed to wound here because of all of the awesome stuff Liliana has. There's a failure reaction on the temple. There is not on the fuzzy groin. So we're going to go with the fuzzy groin. Hopefully not knock the ding-dong off, because that gets the White Lion angry. So we are going to hit that White Lion on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So as long as we don't roll a 1, we wound it. We wound the beast's fuzzy groin. Let's get rid of the AI card. And now we're going to go for the temple. Fun fact, you might notice that sometimes the green screen moves. It's because the green screen is made out of felt, which means that it catches on the cards. So the card sleeves like drag the felt. At some point, I'll upgrade this from a piece of green felt to something maybe a little bit better. It just works really well right now, color-wise. Anyways, we're going to wound the beast's fuzzy temple on anything other than a 1. We get a 3. We wound the beast's temple. It's not fuzzy. Only the groin's fuzzy. We wound it. There's a failure reaction. We did not fail. Good job, Liliana. So we need Gideon. We need Gideon to wound so he can get his Fist and Tooth proficiency point. So he's going to attack with his Fist and Tooth. That is a speed of 2, accuracy of 8, 7, 6. We get a 6 and a 6. 2 hits from Gideon. Bum, 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 bum. Trap guard. Ignore the fact that we were also going to hit the beast's flank. So trap guard, beast whips around, attacks Gideon. The attacker is doomed, which means he can't spend survival to dodge or dash or anything like that. The White Lion's going to do its basic attack on Gideon. This is the White Lion's first attack. Speed of 2, accuracy of 2, 3, 4, because he's in the tall grass. 5, 6, due to evasion that he currently has. Yeah, White Lion's hitting on 6s. We get a 4 and a 9, so that's 1 hit from the White Lion. Gideon can't dodge it, and takes a body shot, taking his body armor down to 1. Not too bad, not too bad. The White Lion had to get in some hits, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't have been at all entertaining. So that was Gideon's turn. This just leaves Chandra. She has really high strength, so if she hits, she's extremely apt to wound. And now the beast has presented its butt, so maybe we send Chandra in to attack the butt. We haven't had a reason to use it, but I'll have to remember that we do have access to dash. So mid-attack, not attack, but mid-flow, mid-various things other than being doomed, we can run away. Which is actually really handy with the White Lion having -1 movement. So there's the hit location shuffled up. Let's have Chandra come out of hiding and attack the beast from behind with her Founding Stone, which is a speed of 2. Because she has that -1, we are going to roll a single die. She's going to hit on a 7, 6. Just on a 6, she doesn't have any extra accuracy. She gets a 2. She fails. All right, so that's everybody's turn. Monster controller over, and let's see what the White Lion does now. The White Lion, balls. Victim of grab last round. Well, we didn't have any grabbing happen. Closest knocked down survivor in range. Nobody's been knocked down. No target. The White Lion's gonna sniff. Sniffing is the White Lion's sort of default, uh-oh, ain't nothing happening action. I don't know why this card, this card's green screening a little bit weird after I just talked about how decently that green screen was working too. So Instinct Sniff, the White Lion sniffs the air and ends its turn. Until the end of the next round, all survivors are now threats, despite any effects that say otherwise. When a level 3 White Lion performs Sniff, it gains +1 accuracy. So basically, if for some reason somebody was not considered a threat, they were knocked down or something, or they had a piece of gear that makes them not a threat, they're now a threat. But that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's have Chandra try to attack again. So she was hitting on a 6. She rolls a 7. She hits with her Founding Stone. The beast's femur. The blow lands on the monster's leg. Now Chandra, being the red fist, is stocked with strength. She has 4 strength. She's going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. She's going to wound on a 3. She wounds. Good job. No reaction, no crit, but a good wound nonetheless. And then Chandra is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, just to kind of get out of the way. We're getting somewhat low on AI cards. As I said, we are tearing this thing apart. I think next year we might go for a level 2 White Lion. Maybe that's a bad idea. The rewards aren't that much better, but it would make for more entertaining and maybe deadly video. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to have Gideon come around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because Gideon needs to get a wound. We need to get that proficiency point for Fist and Tooth. So Gideon is going to hit on an 8, 7, 6, a 2, and a 4. No dice. No dice. We might have to prolong this fight because I need him to wound. But I mean, let's get the White Lion hurt some more so that at least it's only doing like its basic attack. Liliana in behind, hitting on a 6, a 5, a 4. We get a 4 and a 5. That is 2 hits to the beast's Chest, which has a failure reaction. It's going to be very hard for us to fail. We'll only fail on a 1. It's going to run forward, which we don't want. And a Soft Belly with no reaction. So we'll do Soft Belly first, a debilitating blow to the Soft Belly. Liliana from behind wounds on anything other than a 1. That die went almost all the way around, but was a 6. So that is a wound non-critical to the Soft Belly. And then Beast's Chest, let's not roll that 1. We roll a 9. She doesn't have any luck, does she? She does not. Just a normal wound, not critical. That's an empty deck, other than 2 cards, one of which is ground fighting, which is fun, I guess. But that's Liliana's turn. So I need Gideon to get that weapon proficiency, because this will actually be his 3rd point, right? This will be his 3rd point. He'll become specialized in Fist and Tooth. So what are our last 2 attacks? Maul, which does nothing, because it sniffs, and ground fighting, which does nothing. But ground fighting will stop Gideon from being able to attack from behind. So here, I'll tell you what I'll do. The Catgut Bow has a special ability on it. We can aim. When you attack before rolling to hit, you can reduce the speed of this weapon by 1 to gain +2 accuracy for the attack. So we can roll 1 die, so that way we're not going to like accidentally do 2 wounds or something. We can roll 1 die and hit on a 7, 6, 5, 4. So let's hit on a 4. We hit with a 9. So we shoot the White Lion in the elbow. It's got a failure reaction. We are going to wound on an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Get a 7. Good wound. Good wound. So we'll shuffle up the deck. And I would like ground fighting to go away. Ideally. Ground fighting went away. Oh, shoot. I'm not allowed to actually know that. You can't look at what's going away. I thought it was going to be exciting for the video, but I guess now we have a different kind of excitement. Mysterious card goes away. Mysterious card goes back in the deck. Let's find out what happens. So that was everybody's turn. Monster controller over to blue. The remaining card is Maul. Okay, so ground fighting did go away. So again, victim of grab last round. Nope. Closest knockdown survivor. Nope. No target. The White Lion's just going to sniff. This White Lion is not in good shape. We've knocked it around. It's just sniffing around. It doesn't know what's going on. Surely Gideon can bite it now. So we're going to hit on an 8, 7, 6. Going to hit on a 6. We get an 8 and a 3. We hit. We're going to bite the beast's scapular deltoid. So we are going to wound on an 8. 7, 6, 5. We're going to wound on a 5. There is a failure reaction. Let's just not do that. Ooh, ooh. We've never gotten to talk about this yet. Luck has come into play. Finally. We wound. We wound the monster. However, Gideon is attacking with Fist and Tooth, which has Deadly, which gives him +1 luck. Luck makes your crits more likely. So if you have +1 luck, a 9 is a crit. +2, 8 is a crit. So Gideon on that 9 actually crits the scapular deltoid. The trauma of the impact fractures the White Lion's shoulder. The White Lion gains -1 movement token. This thing is being ripped apart. It has a movement of 4 now. And Gideon gets his weapon proficiency at the end of the fight. Okay. Good stuff. We should be able to murder this White Lion now in 1 attack from Liliana. Liliana's going to hit on a 6, a 5, a 4. 6 and an 8. That's 2 hits. No trap card. We've got the knee. And we've got the temple. So the knee is just a movement token. If we crit the temple, Okay, so neither matters. Neither's going to get us resources, but the knee at least does not have a reaction in any way, shape, or form. And we're going to wound on a 1, or sorry, higher than a 1. We get a critical wound, so we kill the lion, and the lion goes down to -3 movement. That white lion did not stand a chance. Yeah, we are lean, mean, level 1 white lion killing machines. Which means I think we want to go to a level 2 white lion next year. I think. We've got dash. We'll hopefully have some weapons. I think we'll do that. But let's do our aftermath here. We're going to get 4 basic resources. This deck was already shuffled up because I got love juice out of it. We get ourselves some monster bone, notably not hide. Some monster hide, notably hide. A monster organ, and a monster hide. All right, those hides are going to become leather. From the white lion deck, I randomized this to get the cat bones. We've got the lion's testes, which is an organ, white fur, shimmering mane, which is 2 basic hides if we want it, and some more great cat bones. All right, that was a good trip. 11 resources. Literally no wounds. Gideon got hit in the body once, but he's got body armor. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. Level 2 white lion probably going to put up way more of a fight. You might be asking yourself, well, why don't we fight the white lion? Surely it gives amazing bonuses and resources, right? It gives 2 extra white lion resources. Just 2. So we get 6 instead of 4. That's good. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm cautious. I don't want everybody to die, but for the sake of entertainment, I think next year we'll do level 2 white lion. But we got to go do settlement, so let's get that set up. Let's see what kind of horrible event happens this year and continue on from there. All right, we are back. So a few things happened. I forgot to give people their experience points. I thought maybe the app did it when we returned, but it doesn't. So we need to keep track of that during the aftermath phase. So importantly, Chandra has aged up. So she has reached XP level 2, which means we first off can pick a weapon proficiency for her. We don't know what she's going to have yet. We'll pick that later. We can pick it at any time. You can change it at any time. You just lose all of your progress. But we are going to roll her 2d10 to see what she gets. She gets a 4. She gets +1 permanent strength. So Chandra now has 4 permanent strength. And when she goes out on a hunt as a red fist, has +1 token. So she's just casually walking around with 5 strength. We might need to get her a good speedy weapon so she can start rolling 2 dice if we can. As well, I want to point out the specializations. Gideon is now a weapons specialist in Fist and Tooth. So he just always has this ability. You can stand, if knocked down, at the start of the monster's turn or the survivor's turn, once per round. So if Gideon gets knocked down, start of the next turn, whether it's monster or us, gets to stand up. It's very hard to keep Gideon down now. As well, let me just double check. Liliana, yep, Liliana hit sword specialization. So now, when attacking with a sword, after drawing hit locations, make a wound attempt, and then select the hit location to resolve with that result. Limit once per attack. So we can draw, let's say she hits 2 hit locations, we can draw them, make our wound attempt, and then we can pick what to apply that to. So if there's a better crit for us to choose, or if we fail and we want to not do the failure, we can kind of pick and choose. We can manipulate what's happening a little bit with the sword specialization. So she got that for being a level 3 swords person. At level 8, she gets to flip that over into sword mastery. We'll take a look at what that is when and if we ever get there. Okay, so that's all of the aftermath stuff that I wanted to do. The survivors come home, they heal up. We get endeavors, so it's just going to be 4, I believe, because Jace was the tinker who comes home with an extra 1. And actually, the app always keeps track of this. The app says 8, but that's probably because I didn't spend the previous 4. Unless I'm massively missing something about why we would have 8. Was face painting? No. No, there's no reason we'd come back with extra. Graves gives us them if they die, but that's not a thing yet. Bonuses. Yeah, so we're just back with the 4 endeavors. So that's going to let us probably innovate and then do some stuff from there. However, we've got some other stuff to deal with before then. We got to update the timeline. We are now on Lantern Year 6. We've got a story event as well as the settlement event. This I always forget what order you do them in. Draw a settlement event card and resolve it. So we'll do our random settlement event card. So we'll just do that in the app and then grab the card. The settlement event is Elder Counsel. So let's take a look at Elder Counsel here. Can't imagine having to shuffle these cards. They're very like, they've got a very matte finish on them that makes them just kind of like not slide. Of course it's like the second one. All right, so the settlement event for the year is Elder Counsel. The elders of the settlement gather to reminisce about their hard-won scars. Count the total number of hunt XP among all survivors. Add the bonuses and consult the table. Add the bonuses and consult the table. So if we have Saga, Scarification, or Records, we actually get to add plus 1d10, but I don't believe we have any of those. We do not. So we just need to count up how much XP we have amongst all of our survivors. We've got 2, 6, 11, 16, 20, 21. We have 21. That just gets us into the third bracket, which starts out with -1 endeavor. So apparently we're still not good enough. I wonder if we'll ever be good enough for the Elder Counsel. One of the elders recalls a story about a bizarre lion it met on a dangerous hunt. The monster was mourning, and in its paw held a tattooed human hand. Add the Beast of Sorrow to your quarry list. You'll find its rules on the Legendary Monster Story event page. You may now hunt this monster. Hi, Kingdom Death Monster, folks. I don't know what this means. I'll look it up at some point. I don't think we're going to go hunt the Beast of Sorrow this coming year. How deadly is a legendary Beast of Sorrow lion? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe someday we'll hunt the Beast of Sorrow. But that is the settlement event card. -1 endeavor, and we get a new quarry. Totally fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. Up next, however, we have to do the story event for the year. This is the one that is predetermined in the campaign, the People of the Lantern campaign. Armored Strangers. That can't be good. Armored Strangers. You are visited by enigmatic figures fully enclosed in armor. They march silently through the settlement. The only noise is a metallic clang as they pause before each survivor and tap their lantern halberds against the ground. The survivors have no choice but to helplessly await their mute deliberations. Add the Kingsman to the Nemesis encounter list. The strangers count people and take action based on the population total. They have counted people, 7 or less, 8 or more. We have, pretty sure 8 or more, I'm pretty sure we have 10. We have 10. The strangers finish their count and draw their blades. Roll on the table below. 1d10. We get a 2. The armored strangers wantonly execute survivors, suffer -5 population. You may resist to avoid this loss. Resist, you rise up, add Special Showdown Kingsman level 1 to the timeline this year. So we would have to immediately fight the Kingsman. I've never fought the Kingsman. We're going to fight the Kingsman in just a few years. Probably sometime next month, video schedule-wise. I don't want to fight the level 1 Kingsman just yet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use rerolls. Because we've got 10 rerolls kicking around. So let's hop down to Thalia. Thalia's in the settlement right now. Thalia is going to use her reroll. We're going to reroll this. It's a 9. The strangers destroy a random innovation. Return the lost innovation card to the settlement's innovation deck. The survivors may choose to resist to avoid this loss. So the only possible thing we could get better is a 10+. Where they would leave a halberd in the settlement with a survivor impaled on it, -1 population, and we get the guidepost innovation. All right, we're going to lose a random innovation. That sucks. God, don't let it be paint. Okay, we've got 6 innovations. Surely I've got a D6, right? No? I found one. Found a bunch. All right. We're going to go top to bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We lose paint. Paint is what gave us access to dash, the thing that we needed to fight a level 2 white lion. I don't believe we're hunting a level 2 white lion this coming year. We have lost paint. Oops. How do I remove an innovation on this app? There we go. We figured it out. We lost paint. We no longer have access to dash. Thanks, armored strangers. Thanks. I guess we could have re-rolled that, actually. If we wanted to spend another re-roll, we could re-roll that roll. That's probably a good idea. It would be better for us to lose, like... I mean, there's nothing I want to lose. Right? Like, if I lose ammonia, I can't make leather. All right, let's get paint back momentarily. And let's use Tezzeret's lifetime reroll. And we'll reroll that D6. We instead lose face painting. That is fine. Face painting was great. It let us make a bunch of babies last year. And now we have our babies. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Go away, armored survivors. Armored strangers. Never come back, please. It was not pleasant to have you there. All right. Update death count. Nobody died. Check milestone and story events. We only have 1 milestone left. And that is if we ever reach 15 population. I believe we get to do basically a free innovation. We choose if we accept darkness or not. So it's time for us to do what we want to do. Up first, I want to innovate. Let's see what kind of innovations we can get back. And let's see what we have anyways. We got bone, hide, organ, hide, white lion organ, white lion hide, white lion hide, white lion bone, organ, but it's love juice, iron, and bone. So we can do monster organ, monster bone, monster hide, and an endeavor in order to innovate. So in the app, we will draw 2 innovations, and we get ourselves Sculpture and Settlement Watch. So I'll grab these so we can check them out on camera. Sculpture, I know we've already taken a look at. It's the one where you can, like, archive a fighting art in order to teach it to other people. Oddly, I don't see it in here. What's the other one we got? Settlement Watch. I have no idea what Settlement Watch is. So there's Sculpture. Is it an expansion innovation? We shouldn't have expansion innovations, right? Oh, it is an expansion innovation. Okay. What expansion is this? It's the Manhunter expansion. Okay, so we've got Sculpture, which is the one where we can so we can create an inspirational statue. We skip the next hunt phase, we lose a fighting art, we record the fighting art, and then people have a 50% chance of learning that fighting art. Somebody did ask this in the comments. Can you do this with Red Fist? No. A secret fighting art is not a fighting art. Weird semantics. Deal with it. So that's Sculpture. It's cool, but let's see what this Settlement Watch is. So Settlement Watch. Departing survivors gain +2 survival when they depart for a nemesis encounter or a special showdown. So when we fight the Butcher or the Kingsman or etc., we'll have +2 survival if we have the survival limit. We also get an Endeavor, new recruits, roll 1d10. If you have no fighting arts, gain a random fighting art. I feel like we're never going to not have fighting arts. If you have the character. If you have 0 or less strength, gain +1 strength, limit once per lifetime. Okay, this is cool. This lets us just like build somebody up. You know, let's say we have Thalia, who's fresh-faced, has no fighting arts, has never been out. She can spend an Endeavor and just be like, hey, I get a fighting art, or maybe, I guess she doesn't get strength. But yeah, we can just, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Or even Chandra, for example. Chandra has kind of gone past the step where she would normally get a fighting art, because she instead got permanent strength. So we have a way of getting her a fighting art. I like that. We'll take Settlement Watch. Settlement Watch added to our settlement. Kinda cool. Thank you, Manhunter expansion. So let's go to innovations and let's add Settlement Watch. All right. So we can make some stuff, I hope. This is where we get the binder out to go shopping a little bit. We've got up to 4 hide if we turn Shimmering Maid into 2 hide. We've got a couple of organs, although Love Juice is pretty valuable. And we've got some cat bones. So if we pull out the binder, I still don't think we can make a spear, because I think a spear requires a cat claw. And we ain't got the cat claw. I don't think we've seen a cat claw. We must have seen a cat claw once. Where are my set applications? Here they are. All right, so it might, oops, binder opened up. The downside of cheap binders is you turn a page and the rings pop open. I guess the easier thing is to go through kind of what can we make. We could start to make White Lion gear, but I think I just want to jump up to leather gear instead. Lion Beast Guitar. So these are speedy. So these you can actually make a pair of them and take them out together. And when you pair them, you add the speeds together. So they're normally a speed of 2. So if you go with 2 guitars, which are these like stabby things that you hold to stab with, you would actually be rolling 4 dice, which could be great for Chandra. She would roll 3. They're also deadly, so +1 luck. But they require lion claws. We don't have lion claws. But that might be something that I want to look into. Spear requires lion claw. Yeah, I don't think we're making anything specifically lion-y. Especially with only 1 white fur, because every single piece of armor requires 1 white fur and something else. So I don't think we're making anything in the Caterium. The Skinnery is just to make rawhide stuff and maybe bandages, whereas I think we want to make leather. We'll get to Leatherworker in a second. We've already innovated. Bonesmith is ready. I don't necessarily want to use the Great Cat Bones just as bone stuff, and there's nothing super exciting there. Although we might momentarily give Chandra like a bone sword or something. So we'll see about that. Stone Circle, we don't have any Screaming Antelope stuff. Organ Grinder, I do want to make Monster Grease, but I don't want to turn Love Juice into Monster Grease. We could make a Fecal Salve out of one organ. A Fecal Salve gives you +1 survival, and you can spend an action to not be a threat for a turn. We could make Lucky Charms, but I don't think we want to do that either. Yeah, I think we're going to just take a look at Leatherworker. So Leatherworker, we have to spend an endeavor to turn hides into leather. So we could get 4 leather out of these 3. We could turn Shimmering Mane into 2 pieces of hide. We have a piece of scrap to make a mask. We would not have a hide to make the bracers. We would have a bone to make a cuirass. The skirt just requires leather. And again, we'd be short a hide to make the boots. So we could make 3 of the pieces. We could also make a round leather shield, which is a great weapon to have. So to talk about those specializations again. So here's the sword specialization. You'll notice the sword specialization says when you attack with a sword. Every single weapon specialization says when you attack with a weapon, when you do this with a weapon, when blah, 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 you do this with that weapon. You might notice Fist and Tooth just says you can stand up. It doesn't require you to be in the middle of using Fist and Tooth. You can just stand up, which means Gideon can actually now like use Fist and Tooth to get a weapon proficiency point to work towards mastery, and then just go back to using an axe or something if he wants to. And the reason that we care about that is because when you hit mastery, not only do you get the extra mastery bonus, but everybody in the settlement gets Fist and Tooth specialization. That means that everybody can start standing up more easily. So shields are important because shield specialization says if you have a shield, you get +1 armor to all of your armor locations. You don't have to use that shield. You don't have to attack with that shield. You just have to have it in your grid and you get +1. So if we ever get a shield master, they can teach everybody to just carry a shield with you and you'll be infinitely more able to survive. The trick being that you do have to level up that shield person. You have to wound with the shield. And the shield is a speed of 1, an accuracy of 8, and a damage of 1. It's very difficult to wound with a shield. That said, if Chandra can hit... Well, no, we can't do this with Chandra because she has -1 speed. She would roll 0 dice when attacking with the shield. So what you want is somebody with a high accuracy and preferably high strength to become your shield person so that they can actually, get leveling up. There's the opportunity of Jace being that person. Jace has +1 accuracy and +2 strength. And we don't need a sword person anymore. He was also working on sword proficiency. He also is never going to age. And he just needs to have a consumable on hand to be able to leave. That's tempting. I know a lot of people go for the shield because of all of those bonuses. I think maybe we'll skip it for now. Which maybe means we're too late. But Chandra was a friggin' beast with that bonus strength to everybody. So I think we want to focus on Chandra, which means we want Chandra to get some armor and we want to get her a weapon. We could get her an axe, right? Speed of 2, accuracy of 6, strength of 3. It's savage. So once per attack, if you critically wound, you cause an extra wound. All right, I think we'll do that. We'll spend an endeavor action to turn these 4, remember this one is 2 hides, these 4 hides into 4 leather. Or actually, let's do this. Let's figure out what I actually need here. So pretend this is leather. It's a skirt. Pretend this is leather. Bone. It's a cuirass. And then I guess we'll go... Actually, how do we make an axe? It's probably 2 bones, isn't it? Where's my bone zone? There's my bone zone. Oh, it's a bone and an organ. Okay, that works. So the shimmering hide will be a leather and a hide. And we'll make... bracers? Do any of these have bonuses? Bracers give +2 survival. Leather mask gives +2 insanity. At the end of your act, you may move 1 space if you have both green parts of the boots created. So yeah, let's go leather hide boots. Leather bone cuirass and leather skirt. So we'll make a skirt. And then I did leather hide, or sorry, not boots, bracers, because I want the survival when we leave. So leather skirt, leather hide bracers, and leather bone for a cuirass. So Chandra has 3 of the 5 pieces of leather armor, using all of those resources and the Endeavor token. So that leaves us with bones and organs to make an axe for Chandra. She's going to start being an axe person, so we'll set her on axe weapon proficiency. Let's do that now. So Chandra's weapon proficiency is axe. And that leaves us with iron and love juice. We don't have many ways to use iron at the moment, so we won't. We will archive that. Love juice. I don't know. Want to practice some intimacy? We're at 10 people. We may as well, because that can get us towards that milestone of choosing whether or not to accept darkness. So let's roll on the intimacy table, shall we? We'll need to pick consenting male and female survivor. Let's go with Thalia and Tezzeret. And we use the love juice. So Thalia and Tezzeret, we roll 2 dice. We get a 10 and a 6. We take the low roll, which is a 6, which is +1 population. Sold. We get a new baby. And this will be... who have I not used yet? Let's have this person be a female named Saheeli. Saheeli. Father is Tezzeret, also an artificer. And mother is Thalia. So she's going to get her +1 strength, +1 evasion, +1 understanding for graves and survival of the fittest. Create. There we go. We are up to 11 survivors. So we are going to send out, I think, the same party. And I think we're going to go hunt. We kept paint, right? Yeah. We're going to go hunt a level 2 White Lion. I feel like I really want that spear first. I feel like I really want that spear because Chandra's going to have the cuirass and the bracers and the skirt and the axe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I might be a coward. I might be brave. Let me know in the comments what I should do, knowing that I've already recorded the episode. But let me know what I should do. But that's going to wrap it up for today. I do believe we're done for this episode. Again, thank you to everybody who's been watching, whether you're from Magic or whether you're new from KDM. I love this game. I always talk about how it would be incredibly hard for me to pick a favorite game. I have a billion. I don't think I have to worry too much about calling Kingdom of Death Monster my favorite game. But yeah, as always, you can find me over on Twitch if you want to hang out, technically playing Magic, but really we're just spending a lot of time chatting about board games, complaining about Magic. You can go to patreon.com/Manalik if you want to help out directly financially that way to keep the channel going and everything. But yeah, otherwise, I will see you all next week for some kind of White Lion.